Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be watching an incorrect summary of Elden Ring Part 2, as I saw Part 3 came out, and I can't watch it until I've seen the second part. And as always, leave any recommendations for other videos down in the comments below. But without further ado, let's get into it.
Do not play this video in the dark, it is very scary. The lands between. So beautiful, so tranquil.
Mexico.
Until I showed up. Welcome back everyone to Elden Ring, one of the games of all time. Featuring deep role-playing mechanics, riveting combat, cool math games, happy wheels, and probably a story so convoluted that entire YouTube channels exist just to tell you about it. I do not know much about the lore, but I do know one thing. Malenia is definitely the Blade of Miquella. When we last left off.
Oh, I forgot how much Max0r's editing is. Like, it's great, but I forgot to prepare myself for pretty much stroke in video form. Okay. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. He's fucking so goated with this. He's so good. How does... It feels like it would take someone, like, the length of making a video to just do 1 minute of his videos. Like, someone who does, like, a normal 30-minute video, that's how much time Max0r seems to put in just, like, 1 minute for his videos. It's astounding.
We had endured great pain and suffering in our quest to destroy the cast of Percy Jackson. But do not worry, the pain has only just begun. And if you somehow haven't seen the first part, then that's fine. I have also seen JoJo. So with the Elden Ring shattered and scattered among America's inbred dipshits, it's time to tear our way through enemies aplenty. Attempt to find a girlfriend, almost impossible.
Best girl. Best girl. Anyone who says otherwise can fucking fight me. Best girl Ronnie. All the way. All the fucking way. She's smart and she has a giant witch hat. I don't know what about it does it for me, but any anime character that has a giant witch hat, hot.
And test the true strength of my hardware, because this will be our greatest challenge yet, and also the easiest challenge for the rest of the game.
He should make music videos. He should do that. He's fucking good at he's good at all this.
Last time on Blatant Copyright Infringement Fair Use Edition, we struggled to take Grandpa off his life support with violence, delivered Garfield his precious lasagna, and finally convinced Joseph Hussein Biden to end it all with nuclear fire. I'm dead serious. Wow, that was fucking crazy. I better fast travel to the third Impact Evangelion. We're moving at a real breakneck speed. You know, just...
That was from Freddy vs. Jason. That was from Freddy vs. Jason. I fucking remember that. I watched that on my VCR so much as a kid. Yes, my parents had a VCR because of the one scene at the very beginning, which was pretty much just a sex scene. Yes.
Just when I was thinking this game can't possibly get bigger, it gets significantly bigger. I'm not sure if the developers are okay, especially since they're trapped in the same room as that man. It turns out, nuclear weapons are a great way to excavate the Earth, and there are no long-term consequences, which means we've got an entirely new area to explore, hiding just beneath our feet, and no...
This was another moment in the game that just made me go, how much is in this game? Like, constantly in Elden Ring were moments of, I think I've seen everything. And then there's more. It just kept getting more and more and more. And this was going down into the underground for the first time was one of those moments. Going up to the golden area from the big elevator. Another one. This is another one of like there's more underground. What the fuck? How big is this game?
No, we're not going to visit the Blue Man Group again. I still have the nightmares. Wait a second, this is Michigan. I need to leave as soon as possible.
Hello,
Detroit.
Ah, it's a woman.
I am possessed of 4 arms, and that is what tickles thy fancy.
Pringles can.
Art thou of no more brain than stone?
Can you speak English?
Can you throw yourself into a wood chipper? Listen, I have never seen...
Wait, what was that?
Can you speak English?
Can you throw yourself into a wood chipper?
What was that?
Listen.
Why is she an Alexander? And why she got big booba? What is it about pretty much any character that people are attracted to in any form of media that isn't well endowed in the chest region that they're like, you know what? All of my sexy art of them is gonna give them big titties. I know they don't have them, but I'm gonna do it. Like, why? You like them? Why not draw them the way they are, Why you gotta exaggerate features? Or give them features they don't even have? Sounds like you don't actually like them for the way they are, and you're just trying to change them. I like my witch waifu the way she is. You know, no titties and all.
I have never seen a Caucasoid run that fast. They kept yelling, "Go, white boy, go."
Okay.
I shall need thy help to run my errands.
May I ask why?
No, I'm going through a tunnel right now. The signal's breaking up.
I apologize for that.
He must have been planning, he planned like all of this out, because that scene comes up much earlier, I think. I don't think you can trigger that scene after the Radon fight, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you have to get that pretty early on, or it just doesn't come up again. But I could be wrong, I don't know.
I may not have known at the time, but this was the beginning of an absolute rabbit hole, one that would lead me to dangerous and disturbing territory in the future. This shit makes Blaytown look like a playground. Welcome
There's always a fucking poison swamp. What? No, I'm not spoiling anything for Armored Core, but I will say there's no poison swamp. At least that I've seen. I'm still doing like a third playthrough. Maybe one will come up. I can say, so far, no equivalent of a poison swamp. So maybe they've learned. Or maybe it's just because it's mechs and that wouldn't make that much sense. Who knows?
Everyone to the Nether Fortress. It's 3 rooms long and filled with naked and hostile women, which is my preferred enemy. I've always wanted to be a police officer. This is just like my favorite Japanese anime, Kill the Cats. And if that's a little too intense for you, don't worry. There are dozens of skinwalkers waiting around every corner. Just knowing that makes me feel very comfortable. But my favorite enemy in the entire level is in fact myself. Me. I am the boss of the level.
I kind of like that fight.
What's up, guys? Max0r here. We're out here going after Shadow Peter Pan. I'm forced to fight the only bitch that I trust. Gonna lay a fucking smackdown on Dark Link. This battle is a unique concept, to say the least. It perfectly copies and uses your entire inventory. And yes, this does mean you can unequip your weapon and laugh at him for the whole fight. He literally cannot damage me in this state. Not that you would need it, because if there's anyone in the world who knows how to keep me down, it is myself. This boss's weakness.
Also, I saw that tomboy supremacy meme. I completely agree with that. Oh, that just mean what? You just want a guy friend, but with a vagina? Yes. Exactly. That's exactly what I want. What? Some girls are into femboys. Oh, you just want a girlfriend, but with a penis. Yeah, that's probably what they want. What's wrong with that, huh? Don't judge me.
This is naked anime women, but overall, it was a great experience taking revenge upon the man who ruined my life. Unfortunately, as a result of that battle, I have destroyed a part of myself. I have killed my artistic integrity. Hey guys, I built an entire torture chamber for animals in hardcore Minecraft, and if you want to see how I exterminate the innocent, stick around until I kill my son. I feel like if you...
Kids really do love Minecraft. I've seen some of the videos, and it's always the like, I did such and such in 100 days in Minecraft. And like, I thought it meant like literally 100 days. No, it means like 100 in-game days, which is still a couple of hours. But it's not as impressive. And secondly, I've watched some of them for research purposes, not because I wanted to, but for research. And there are some clever edits in there that hide if the day is actually passed, and then they can just say a day passed, and maybe it really didn't, and then they can kind of just spawn stuff to get those videos out weekly. You know, not saying anything, not pointing fingers or nothing, but videos may not be as truthful as you think. But kids love them. Kids love their Minecraft for some reason. I tried it, and I just couldn't get into it. I kept dying. I wanted to just get to the building right away, which, you know, probably just means I should play creative.
If you showed this video to a Victorian child, he would die instantly. And speaking of dying, we've returned again to Jump Scare Junction. That's right, I lied to you. I give Dora the wrong directions. This area is an identical copy of the last time, complete with the same puzzle, the same enemies, and the exact same boss. But
see, this right here. I love Elden Ring. I love it, but he makes a very good point with his jokes. I like Elden Ring's really big and people love it. I feel like it could have been 70% the size, give or take, and it would have been better. Because then they could have just not reused some bosses, like Estelle, the Starfallen or whatever it is. I love that fight. It's like a good conclusion to like the Ronnie questline, or upcoming to the conclusion of the Ronnie questline. And then I find it again in a cave in the snowfields. Why did you do this, Miyazaki? I liked the fight, and then he's just in a cave as a boss at the end of it. I'm sure there's a lore reason. I don't care. I wanted it to be a nice, unique fight, but you pasted it somewhere else. Like, you could just cut that. We didn't need it. Does that enhance the experience? I don't think so. Just don't have it. That would have been fine. I don't know. It's weird. Also, isn't there the guy who called Garfield? Isn't there like a second version of him somewhere in a jail? Like what? Why? Like what? If you're gonna do a copy and paste one, do it for some of the more fodder type enemies, or a boss that's very early on that becomes a normal enemy. Kind of like you did in Dark Souls 1 with the Capra Demon. It's like, oh, now there's Capra Demons, and it shows your progression, how far you've come. Something like that. But the unique fights or whatnot, it's like, just, you don't need to do that. You know, you could have made it a bit smaller, which would have also enhanced the replayability factor for it, because I spent like 200 hours in my first playthrough. Subsequent playthroughs of Elden Ring are like 20 hours, if that. Because I know exactly where I want to go and what to avoid. But that's just my opinion.
But this time he's glowing, just like this video. Now don't get me wrong, I love beating Canadians to death, but why? Please do not subject me to more Canuckan boss torture. Now as for the rest of the area, it's pretty nice, you know, kinda short, introduces the brand new Sapient Sphere.
I like them. I like the balls. I like the Sapient Spheres. That was a cool fight. Or not a cool fight, but a cool enemy. It's like, hey, wait a minute, that thing's moving at me.
Your type enemy? That's okay though, I too have seen Steel Ball run, but what I really want to find is this knife, which is a surprise tool that will help us later. With this, I may now cause many kitchen nightmares. Let's go talk to someone who actually knows what's happening right now. Not you, though the alternative isn't much better.
Hey, Tarnished.
Yeah, hi.
I see you've come to me with LondonBinKnife.png.
So you know what it is then?
No, but if you desire a refund, I must redirect you to Ronnie the Witch in her Karian call center. Only then can you rebate your purchase.
Oh, I've met Ronnie before. She's, interesting.
But I must warn you, Tarnished, the temptation of a blue gash is strong beyond belief. I, too, have felt the call of her puppet hands upon my tackle. Just imagine, Tarnished, what those 4 armpits must smell like.
I'm going to leave now.
So, I know some people like to do stuff to certain types of dolls and whatnot, but doesn't Ronnie seem more like a puppet, one with strings and whatnot? I feel I'd get splinters in areas that are sensitive, if you know what I mean. Maybe some people are into that, but I don't want to splinter down my urethra, if you know what I mean. Why'd I say I know what you mean? Of course you know what I mean. I wasn't being subtle.
Welcome everyone.
Was that thing flipping me off? How have I not noticed that?
I'm going to leave now.
Oh my god, they cast that spell with their fucking middle finger. I mean, they have a lot of them. They have a lot of fingers, but that's still the middle one, I think. It flips me off when it casts a spell. What an asshole.
Welcome everyone to Horrors Beyond Comprehension, a land of the hands, as it were. The Finky Dinky. Making my way here was a treacherous affair. I had to dodge the magical artillery using my immense skill. This place, however, is anything but safe. I would describe it a bit like the SpongeBob perfume department. You simply need to get through it, but you will lose a part of yourself. There are hands everywhere, in the ground, on the ceiling, and within my nightmares. They are 90% of the enemies, and the remaining 10% kind of remind me of myself in a really strange way. My name is Yoshikage Kira. I'm 23 years old and making YouTube videos. As it turns out, the Queen of Caria going insane in Hogwarts had implications for the kingdom, and one of those implications, kind of slaps. You know, like a hand. I too would kill myself if I was written by J.K. Rowling. I can't even search for pictures of normal Knuckles on Google because I keep getting this fucking echidna. Human Knuckles just makes it worse. Now, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, so after dealing with my Oni-chan and killing the only normal people for miles, the game just gives up and has us fight a ghost instead. I've always wanted to kill a white woman, also I'm available at this address. This fight is actually an iteration on the previous Tree Sentinel boss, so it's a really good thing that I beat him. You could say I
never really thought of that. It is somewhat similar to the Tree Sentinel fight, although would you be able to fight? I mean, you can defeat the Tree Sentinel, but is it normal progression for someone to be able to defeat the Tree Sentinel before this fight? All I remember about this Ghost Horse fight is that I fucked up my build immensely on my first playthrough. It was like a mix of magic and strength that just did not mesh very well, and that horse fucking kicked my shit. It was so bad. I was having the hardest time. Oh, go explore other areas. Like, no, I refuse. As soon as I find a boss, I'm going to fight it. I do not care if, like, oh, you're not meant to be here yet. Well, I got here. I got here, and I'm gonna fight it. Mama didn't raise no quitter, and I'm going to fight this thing, even if I am gonna be tearied up the entire time. I'm gonna have tears in my eyes.
I have a lot of practice with the moveset. This time, however, we've got a copious amount of magic, even greater speed, and a horse ghost, which implies that there is a horse hell. Horses don't belong in the battlefield, they belong in the McDonald's menu. I can't even turn the bastard into glue anymore. This is just like George Orwell's Animal Farm. In summary, this boss is good, but nothing we haven't seen before or will see in 5 minutes. The magic earns her a really comfortable spot in B tier right next to herself, but that is a story for part 19, so for now I'm just gonna send her to a farm upstate. By the way, I've played this game for 130 hours and haven't slotted a spell. Now, as a full metal consequence of my vehicular manslaughterito, we have finally unlocked Ronnie's Rise, and my favorite part of the game, Ningyo Romansu Shimureta. Honestly, I'm a big fan of the writing on this one, I just don't really care for the Blythe arc where he eats the classroom. But to get to that, we have to fight the most dangerous and powerful boss of them all, the copy-paste key. If we can teach magic to fucking dragons and dogs,
What? That thing has a sword? I don't remember that move. How do I not remember that the thing fucking summoned a sword in its own mouth like a Sith wolf? Huh? I mean, is this just another dragon fight? Maybe I just tuned it out. Is there just so many of the dragons that maybe I just was like, oh, it's another dragon. I just didn't pay attention. Maybe that's it.
I don't even know why we try. The most powerful wizards can be found in a zoo. You know, at least he's gone. He has chosen peace. I guess all that's left to do now is enter Toyota High School, so I can finally meet the love of my life.
How the fuck did you do that?
Do what?
Ohayou gozaimasu.
She says, her long hair swaying in the Among Us Morbius Among Us sus.
So, why are you here exactly?
Oh god, the game actually prompts you. I really gotta think about this one.
Tell you what, I'm also in the business of killing God. I want to restore the good old-fashioned values upon which we used to rely.
Is that a bad thing?
For you. Now, are you going to join or not?
Oh god, she doesn't know I'm a sub.
Wonderful. Your first mission is to kill my brother, Satan. You can find him inside his volcano.
Are you trying to kill me?
Don't come back until one of you is dead.
Well, I guess that's it then. Time to take the elevator so I can talk to my sleep paralysis demon.
Greetings, Tarnished.
Oh god, not him.
It's Uber Danger.
Brian Dog from Family Guy.
Please leave me alone.
I'm not really here right now, so please.
God
leave a
damn it, it's an
message at
answering
the
machine.
tone.
At the tone, please record your message.
Finally, it's time to continue playing the game. And to get to the aforementioned volcano, we must first ascend. We have to elevate our consciousness so I can have my date with Ronnie Senpai. Fortunately for us, there is an elevator. Thank God the Mountain of Death is wheelchair accessible. You just gotta watch out for the falling rocks. I'm beginning to get the impression that I'm not wanted here. So we enter the absurdly large elevator, custom built and designed for the new American male, and place our keys in the ignition like a sedan.
Wait, is that meant for like super giant people? I never thought of that. I just thought it was, you know, kind of just symbolic and grandiose because, you know, it's for America and the other people in the city and yada yada. But was it meant for giant creatures of some kind? I mean, there's giants, skeletons and stuff, but those are actually too big to be used for the elevator, right? I don't know. I'll check on Body Video. I'm sure he's got a video on it or something.
Welcome every pony bazinga to the Altus Plateau, land of the fourth demigod and his magic treehouse. I originally met.
I love the Magic Treehouse. That was my favorite book growing up. Also, there was Fauna. I like Fauna. She's probably my favorite.
To go to the volcano immediately, but this area is the world's biggest set of dangling keys. There are two paths we can take to traverse this area: the road of proper, upright civilization, or the forest of immaculate pain. You know, I did both of them, but this one is funnier. Welcome everyone to the Worm People Dimension, a region totally unique in how it decides to kill me. You see, the inhabitants have a special status effect called death, and the effect of death is that it kills you, rather painfully, and there's quite a few of them. My favorite example is definitely Wormface, who is called that for no reason. All of his attacks are basically instant kills. I think it could be better to take the stealthy approach here. Hey guys, Max0r here, and today we're—
Wait, this is that area. Isn't this the area that they showed in like a trailer a long time ago before the game's release? Showing that like there were enemies in a golden forest and you could stealth past them and it was co-op or something? I think that was it.
gonna be sneaking into Big Shell. Right, and you have to stop the Facebook algorithm. It's giving people pronouns. So after navigating the Impale Jail, or just teleporting past it, because you can do that, we continue exploring Bikini Bottom so I may find the maniac. Just don't turn around on the bridge, because, he is there. So for the next part of our journey, we make our way to the Windmill Village, which is, apparently a fun time. You know, I may be a fan of older women, but this is a bit much. These bitches really do be reenacting the plot of Midsummer in the local retirement center. Honestly, this area is pretty dope as long as you don't make them angry. Don't worry, women are very easy to calm down. So with our domestic situation—
Yeah, just tell her to calm down. That works 100% of the time. That they will acknowledge that they were being a little bit irate. They will contain the calamity, which is their memories, and then just be right as rain. They totally won't blow up in your face. Of course not.
Now under control. We walk for 3 seconds until the boss just kind of approaches you.
I fucking had PTSD when I saw this boss. Oh my god, I spent I don't know how long or how many hours on the first one of these guys down at the bottom of Radon's tower that I found by accident and probably way too soon, that I just kept fighting and fighting, that I had PTSD flashbacks when I saw this motherfucker out here. I defeated him pretty quickly because by that point I was a lot stronger, but still, it haunted me. Don't even get me started on the duo fight.
Just like Dio and his stand. Welcome back, everyone, to the official IGN walkthrough. And today we're gonna be fighting Slenderman. Gotta collect those 8 pages. His attacks are fast, really fast, and his combos are longer than my video schedule. If you ever think you're safe against this boss, think harder. This man goes harder than a police officer in the Black Sea. And to make things worse, we have a second phase which made me scream audibly. Finally, the spaghetti coat. I haven't really fought a boss that required an exorcist before, but thankfully the priest was better at the game than me, so that's not the last time we're gonna see him, although I wish it was. So with Friedrich...
Aren't there like 4 of him? Either solo or as a duo? Because he's summoned by a snail at one point, if I'm not mistaken.
Fastbear, once again confined to his pizzeria, we approach the fabled Gate of Healthy Eyeballs, and after being welcomed very nicely by the residents, we catch a glimpse of our next destination. The next destination hurts my eyes. All you have to know is that I really want to get there because I am a moth. And also this anime girl. Naturally, my first instinct was to head to the front door, like the feds outside my house. But these instincts were not correct. Also, some people say my videos are too fast, so here's a dog. So instead of whatever that is, we need to take the side route to get in. I have to skulk cantankerously towards my devilish deeds, but upon reaching the back...
How does he get so many memes? How does he know all of these memes? I love memes just as much as the next guy, but he gets so many. So many that I've never heard of. He just referenced a meme that was super specific, and it's a meme. Does he make them? Does he come up with them?
Rooms, we find that the way is blocked by the dreaded, most powerful enemy of the entire game. That's right, the copy-paste key is back, and this time he's tired of my shit. This battle is really difficult, not because the moveset is new, but because I have exhausted my horse jokes. To put this another way, he's tougher than my dad and hits harder than his belt. Not much is different this time around though, except for the damage. That is very new. This is just like my Redmi Note 11 Pro when I criticized the Chinese government. Overall though, this boss is a very cool reskin and a literal gatekeeper for the content ahead, which is why I decided to exploit him using my horse, just like the Mongols. Absolutely.
No, to be fair, I get people calling this one a reskin, and there's a lot of bosses in this game that you can definitely say that about. However, for this one, I kind of like it. I kind of like it because it's like an evolution of the boss, and it's a knight showing like hierarchies of it within the system. So this one I'm okay with. I'm not okay with it like reappearing a bunch of times and stuff like that. It would have been fine if it was a normal enemy at some point to show, you know, how much we've grown and whatnot. But I kind of like just the first iteration and the first showing up of this type of boss being like, there's a tree sentinel. Oh, now the demonic or draconic tree sentinel showing an evolution with newer armor and newer moves and stuff like that. So I give this one a pass.
Absolutely peak game design right here. I'm very impressed. 1 second, guys, I need to answer my phone. So, with the evil lies of capitalism out of the way, it's finally time to head inside. This is what we've been building up for 13 entire minutes. And when I got there, I was so taken aback by what I saw that I fell off a cliff and died. Great start.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that did that. I literally fucking walked in and just kept going. I didn't see that there was a cliff.
Welcome everyone to Listerine, Royal Capital, a land that pleases the eyes and destroys my ears. The sound of the Smurf Jamboree is fucking inescapable. We're gonna hear it for the rest of the level in the form of my tinnitus. Look at this shit. Look how fucking big it is. And yes, we can visit all of that, the entire city. Do you see that dragon? You can climb it. These enemies, they can climb me when I am 6 feet under. Enter the buildings, peruse the streets, find new enemies and die to them. We've got a little bit of everything.
New enemies. I wish the Asylum Demon wasn't fucking everywhere in this game. You can't hide the fact that that's the Asylum Demon with just slightly new moves. I know what you're doing. That's the Asylum Demon.
Here in Portland, Oregon, This game is Dark Souls 4, 5, and fucking 6, so I ask again, are the developers okay? Do they sleep? So after our encounter with Band Class, we move throughout the city, becoming acquainted with its welcoming residents, and there are so many different paths that it's actually hard to talk about. You can go down the streets and die, go through the storm drain and be dragged to the depths of hell, where the Catholics go, or you can go to the bad side of town and die to the exploding worm. I hesitate to call this a level because this is a goddamn experience. Just don't enter this innocuous well, because you'll have to fight the poo and piss men. Seriously, this is an entire dungeon in and of itself, and it's more convoluted and confusing than a woman. I want to get off Mr. Miyazaki's wild ride. Please let me see my family. But that is a story for probably never, because it's guarded by the demigod of incest. I will have to deal with him later, preferably after he stops dealing with me. So once I finish up preening the garden and becoming one with the graveyard, we ascend to the next level of consciousness and begin making our way to the palace above. It's pretty beautiful, but I would suggest installing railings, because I am stupid. And also this anime. Speaking of which, here's the next boss. He just kind of appears there. Gotta fight Casper the Unfriendly Piss. Now, I could get into this boss, maybe talk about how he helped my insides experience fresh air, but he is very phoned in, and we're going to get quite familiar with him later. And also, he has a stand, so that's how you know he's gay.
So I like this. I like the fight for whatever his name is, Godfrey, whatever his name, Jeffrey. But I don't like this one, the one with the gold. And I get the lore implication that this is the golden grace that was taken back from him by the greater will or the outer, whatever it's called. And I get the lore implications behind it. But it's weird that you kind of just give us the first phase of a upcoming boss later in the game. So now we're just ready for it, and now it makes that part of the experience lesser because of it. You know, I just don't get it. There's no fanfare. There's nothing. It just feels weird. I don't know. I don't know. I think, again, it would have just been better to just have the normal Godfrey fight, and then, I don't know, maybe just not have this fight here. But I'm not a game developer. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I do like that he has a JoJo stand. I do like that.
Since this boss is technically a memory, we're just gonna forget that he exists. Maybe should have done that during the fight. So all that's left to do now is get into the giant tree so I can finally kill God. I've always had a grudge against that guy. After all, he made the British Isles, and some crimes cannot be forgiven.
Was that a British Hatsune Miku?
After all, he made the British Isles, and some crimes cannot be.
Oh my god, looks like I will have to kill Miku now! She's British. But she has perfect teeth. That's not possible. She must just be using that as a stylistic choice. I knew a guy in college that legitimately forced a fake British accent for his reason for that, and I quote, is because he thought it made him seem cooler. Yeah, I didn't like the guy. It was weird. Because he wasn't British. He wasn't from England. None of his parents were. Nothing like that. He just decided to do it. But we all knew it was fake. That's how bad it was.
Forgiven. If it isn't my old friend, the Tarnished who gets no bitches and stacks no paper. How are you alive exactly? How are you still single? Once I called the demigod's family, but that was before I became racist. Though your tenacity deserves praise, it is for naught. For I have never lost a debate. What the fuck is wrong with you? Cancel culture strikes again. Oh god, this fight is good. Like, really fucking good. I just didn't sign up to play Sekiro today. That quirked up white boy do be busting it down sexual style, and his secret is methamphetamine. This shit is fast. Very, very fast. Faster than a Genshin player's trajectory to prison. So fast that the hammer doesn't even wait for phase 2. They call him Home Depot DoorDash because he's delivering the tools straight to you. Also, yes, I can make his weapon change color at will. It's like a speedrun for epileptics. But what makes this fight difficult is not just the speed, not just the mobility, and definitely not just the damage, although there is a lot of that, but just how many fucking moves this man has, and all of them have different attack speeds, so have fun with that. This time around, we've got daggers, hammers, spears, a lot of swords, and a little bit of trolling. I remember when Dark Souls bosses were just an obese man, we were so young, but this does beg the question, why was Morgott just hanging out in front of Stormvale? Was he getting his groceries? Did he use a VPN? The only assumption
I still to this day have no idea. I know that I'm sure there's a lore reason why he was there in front of the castle, like to stop whatever it is we're doing and whatnot, just to stop it, nip it in the bud. Just seems weird. Couldn't he just fight Godfrey or whatever his name is in the castle with his lasagna? Garfield, that's his name? Couldn't he just do it? Why didn't he do it? Doesn't he? Can't he kick Radahn's ass? Isn't that in one of the little picture scenes and whatnot? Why doesn't he just get all the pieces and then hoard it for himself and then, I don't know, move to the Antarctic and then nobody can get any of the pieces, huh?
I can make is that he just really hates you, and yeah, I can fucking feel that. I also hate me, so to come out on top, we've got to remain quick, brace the inside of our asshole, and to verify our online sources with correct documentation, because this is the hardest boss so far, and the easiest boss for the rest of the game. So whether we're delivering pizza or attempting deicide, Morgoth will bring you the Home Depot experience, whether you're ready or not, and the answer is usually not. That fight was the fucking bomb.
It was really good. I like the fight.
It was a hard-fought battle, but now it is time.
Wait a minute, were we supposed to be going to meet Satan the Snake Man? Oh, wait, we have to go... Do we? No, we don't even have to do this fight to get there. I mean, I'm not complaining. I like it, but we got a little sidetracked.
Time for me to claim my rightful throne. Fuck, I'm going to make God pay for this. All we have to do is go through the, Oh, this probably has an explanation, but something tells me I'm not going to like it. Oh well, time to go. My actual objective is worse than this. Much, much worse than this. So, yeah, that's great. Look, I need help getting into the glow stick tree. Do you have any shears?
Oh, why didn't you say so?
No reason in particular.
Nah, don't worry about him. He's, doing stretches. For the next 5,000 years.
What?
Anyways, you need to, burn the tree.
Excuse me?
You need to go to Giant Mountain and burn someone to death. I want that shit to look like a road flare.
You are scaring me.
The pain is immense and without limit.
How about I just go kill Satan?
How do they know this? Has someone done it before? I know it's a fantasy world and everything like that, but when people are just like, oh yeah, just go, you gotta sacrifice someone, burn them, and then they can make the tree that's literally kilometers away also burn. Yeah, just do it. Like, everyone knows that that's a possibility. We fought against someone being able to do it for thousands of years and stuff like that, but has anyone done it? How do they know that it's possible? How do they know the rituals behind it?
Instead.
You cannot run from me!
Welcome everyone to the Mountain of Agony, both in the lore and in gameplay, but mostly gameplay. Home of the fifth demigod, Satan, literally just Satan, Lucifer, the big D, if you will, who has made his home inside of a literal volcano where he intends to commit blasphemy in peace. Just one problem.
Why did they build that place on a volcano? I'm gonna assume that it wasn't active at the time. But why would you even build castle or a village or anything on a dormant volcano? That seems like you're asking for trouble. Or was it that the volcano sprung up right there? I don't know. Again, I'm not a lore master. These are just questions I have to ask because some people do stupid stuff in the Souls games. It's not that the writing's bad. No, the writing's fucking amazing 99% of the time. I'm just saying I'm ignorant.
We gotta climb that shit ourselves,
Germa!
and the main way up is,
What a thrill. Do it. Ah, there it is! I fucking knew he would do that. Every fucking time I climb a ladder in a game that takes a little bit longer than I think it should, I will always make that joke of like, wow, this part of the game is very thrilling. I'm enjoying it a lot. This is what a thrill this is.
a little bit linear. I call it the Habsburg family tree because this shit is a circle, one with a higher population of apes than Twitter.com. My favorite part was the horrifying darkness of my Appalachian camping trip. Something is after me, but I don't know what it is. Now don't get me wrong, there's still a lot to discover, but half of it is igneous rock, and what remains is a bit of special. Just gotta take out this enemy over here when suddenly burn jump scare. It feels a bit like every level collaborated to make this one. We've got people, monkeys, spastic robots, and you better believe that the hands are back. We even get to see the handyman himself. He's getting really out of hand this time. You could say that I have my hands full. This is hands down the stupidest joke in the video. So after
I gotta hand it to him, that was a lot of hand puns. Very well done. But I will say, sorry, hit the mic. I will say, for this part of the game, it makes sense why all these different enemies are here. They're like fighting to stop Rykard is his name, I'm thinking. Yeah. So they're trying to stop him and fight him and not make it so that he can get his way of his type of ending, yada, yada, yada. But the place with, like, the fire giant and all of that, that one never made sense to me with the enemies all right there. Like, we have the enemies from Caelid present, which I get that that is the route that the person who was carrying Mikola, or Melania, the Blade of Mikola, the lady who is the butterfly one, that she was carried through that area, so that caused more of the mutations and stuff like that. But why are they the same creatures? Shouldn't there be different creatures that were inhabiting the snowfields that were then mutated? Why is it the same things? It just felt weird, and I kind of got the feeling of a similar rush of that particular area as I do with, like, Lost Isolus in Dark Souls 1, but not to the same degree, obviously. But it felt odd. Like, these enemies shouldn't be here. It doesn't make sense. The mutation makes sense, but the enemy type does not, to me. But I could be wrong again. I'm no lore master.
Climbing a little bit, 3 ladders in a row, we gaze over a cliff, whereupon Patches just breaks my fucking skeleton. Guess I have to climb all the way back up. The top of the mountain is really fun though, especially when my computer decides to work. It's like Disneyland for Victorian peasants, or just Yugoslav war criminals. I think Satan might be up to something. It's just a guess though.
Those things. There should be, like, less than 50% of those things in the game. Too many of those tree spirits are all over the place. Again, I get the lore implications, but lore does not come before gameplay. And I like the first fight. The first time I found the things, I'm like, I like this fight. It's cool, it's interesting, I'm enjoying it, I'm learning the patterns. And then it just became a chore afterwards, because it's like, oh, it's another one. Oh, it's another one. Oh, it's another one. So I just don't get why they were placed all over the place. Just do less. It takes less work to do it, right? You paste less, you make less areas for it. It takes less work, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I'm no game developer.
So, after 3 days of assorted undersea mischief making, we finally arrive at the Volcano Manor. But at that size, it's more like a volcano-gated community. Little did I know what I was getting into, starting with the, red. Like all the flags this is giving me. I feel like I'm inside of a gaming PC. Maybe this woman can give us more info.
Hello, Tarnished, and welcome to the Red Manor.
That's Iron Mouse. Well, I did watch the Genshin video that he did more recently, I think. So, and he got Pippa in that one, and also he got Lumi, I think, in the Resident Evil 4 remake video. So I guess that makes sense that even before that, he got somebody else. He got Iron Mouse. He's living his dream of interacting with the VTubers.
Feeling creative today, aren't we?
I am the virtual YouTuber of this mansion, Tanit, and this is Gug. Gug is in pain.
Aren't we all?
Anyways, can I interest you in joining the forces of Satan? We offer coupons.
For what exactly?
Mostly funerals, but sometimes Tesco.
Well, you know what? I do want to attack God, and the mood lighting here is sick as fuck. Where do I sign?
Oh, you don't sign, you kill.
What?
We crave innocent blood, traveler, and I expect a sufficient donation. After all, you are what you eat, and I am a child at heart.
I've heard people say that. I've heard people say that quote. This is where it's from? That's an amazing quote. Okay, maybe he also took it from someplace, but I'm gonna say he came up with it, and I love it. I love that quote.
I think I chose the wrong voice actor.
Hail Satan!
Well, I guess since I serve Satan...
I mean, she's Satan in her own lore, right? So, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense why he picked her for this role. Well picked, I would say. It also boosts the amount of people that will discover it, because I bet Iron Mouse would then react to it, and also talk about how she was a voice actress in it. But makes sense. Well done, Max0r.
Now, my outfit needs to get a little edgier, and my weapons need to become a little veggier. Potatoes aren't the only things that these can peel, and as a fresh recruit to the Army of Darkness, I now have access to the office break room. It is surprisingly nice, so long as you avoid the souls of the damned. I do not care who the IRS sends, I am not paying taxes.
I know what that line's from. That I don't know the name of the show, but I've seen it. It's where like a attractive woman shows up to this guy's apartment, and she's like, "Oh, hey, I just moved in next door, and I just was looking, see if you had any sugar to borrow, or if you wanted to hang out, or something along those lines." She says, and immediately he just looks at her and says, "I do not care who the IRS sends. I am not paying taxes." And I don't know. I feel like that lady might have actually been an IRS agent by the end of the movie or end of the show. I don't know.
Also, half my fellow demons have scoliosis, so let's just collect our first target, you know, instead of talking to them. And if I'm going to kill the innocent, I might as well do it with some chill beatings by Dr. Dre to relax and study to. I think we might be the bad guys. Just kidding, I don't think. Oh shit, wrong door.
Congratulations, traveler. You have proven yourself my finest sin.
My sins are unforgivable.
You get to meet Satan now.
Oh, what's the occasion?
Dinner.
Can I leave now?
Have fun.
Hi there, Satan. Did you fall from heaven?
It is weird that they send you to go meet Satan so that you can, you know, obviously be absorbed, but they leave the weapon, the one thing that can murderize him, just right at the entrance. You think they would have cleaned up a little bit, just move that thing out of the way, put it in like a little cupboard, maybe in a lost and found for someone to come by and pick it up, but no, they just leave it right there.
I don't think he liked that one. Hey guys, Max0r here, and today we're gonna be trapped in, hell. Yeah, so turns out war crimes and orgies are sins. Don't ask. So now that we're in hell, I get to meet all of my favorite heroes, such as Ronald Reagan, and also all the landlords that Mao killed. But to navigate this new landscape of fire and brimstone, we must venture into the many circles of hell, each one complete with their own trials and punishments. But
that thing again, also the magma worm. There's too many of those in the game. There's too many. We don't need that many all around here, okay? You fought it once, you fought it twice, and then it's like, okay, I get it. I know the fight. You don't need to be pasting it all over the place, okay? Just cut down on the size a little bit. There we go. Like, I get that it's open world, so you can't determine when someone's going to first encounter one of these, but you can kind of assume if you just make some good guiding points in the open world, or like, this is the directions you probably should be going, the order you should probably be playing the game in, you know, and then if players decide to go in the opposite direction and whatnot, that's their own choice. I mean, you can't stop that, you can't control that, that's fine, but you gave it the direction, you gave the player the direction. If they choose to not do it, that's their own prerogative, and it's not your fault. Just a thought.
But mostly punishments. Now as for me, I was sent to the Circle of Greed for being a YouTuber, and my punishment is continuing to make this video. It is 4 in the morning. Now the first thing you see in this level, and I mean the first thing, is an anchor direction. This tells us that we're in the Circle of Lust, where all the Genshin players reside. You know, I'm a really big fan of Sugma Kokomi. Boy, I sure do love...
She's the one that's just wearing lingerie all the time. I see why you're into that. Like, literally, look her up, and she just looks like she's a jellyfish lady that is constantly wearing Victoria's Secret lingerie, where she has a bow right on top of her tatas that seem like the type that would be made so that if you just pull one of the ribbon, her entire clothing, all of her clothing on her body just falls off for sexy time. That's exactly what it looks like, and she's just walking around in that as her normal attire.
Love being surrounded by women. Genshin Impact video very soon. Just gotta turn this corner and, why is he just standing there? Well, I'm sure he won't be bothering me, anytime later. Oh my god, it's him, the Caprese Demon. Now,
I was about to say that is literally the Capra Demon. He just has flamethrowers. The boss fight of that guy literally also has 2 dogs. He's easier than the Capra Demon because, you know, there's no stairs and it's a bigger area. But even when I first played, I was like, this is just the Capra Demon with flamethrowers, isn't it?
Now for our next stop in every Denny's ever made, we're heading into Hell's Assisted Living Center, which is filled with unbaptized infants and the disabled. It was at this moment that I knew I was not being punished, but that I was the punishment. Also, Jesus Christ, this is darker than Ethiopia. After which, we find ourselves in the Circle of Gluttony, because the residents are a bit sluggish. I know, very funny stuff. It's time for some fun volcano facts with Max0r. Did you know that lava cannot hurt you as long as you are backstepping? Try to do it in real life. Actually, at this point, the lava is more of a suggestion. Summer enjoyers be like, at least there be no snow. Oh boy, I sure do love taking a walk in the great state of Arizona.
And this is a good example. Average day in Arizona. It's fucking hot in my apartment right now, and I'm not even in Arizona. But this is a good example of how gameplay trumps story or sometimes logic, as long as it allows the player to play the game in a more enjoyable experience. because I never questioned why I could walk through the lava. Never. I was just like, okay, cool. This makes this area a lot more enjoyable for me. I don't need a special ring or anything like that. I can just walk through. Maybe there's a story reason. Maybe there's a lore reason that I don't know about. But I don't care. It didn't matter to me because I was just playing it. I was like, nice. I like it. That's cool. I don't care about a reason. This gameplay mechanic trumps any reasoning that I need. Even if they provide one. I mean, that's great if they do. But even if they didn't, it's awesome.
Arizona. So after we're finished navigating the, kinky neighborhood, we head into the next circle of hell, the heresy, which is accessed when I pull a bridge out of the room temperature lava. This is where God puts all the papists after being dragged into the storm drain. Their Sisyphean punishment is that they have to get laid on Gmail, delete every other website. You have to fuck and suck on Gmail. Now if you'll excuse me, I'll be attending mass to steal the wine. Hey guys, welcome back to my 600...
Oh, before he gets into this, fun fact about getting drunk on wine at Mass. During Prohibition, a lot more people suddenly got licenses to become, like, priests or clergymen or whatever the heck it's called that can then perform Mass and whatnot. So then they could get, you know, wine. Get the alcohol for that. And then obviously, of course, they were not actually going to be doing anything religious with the wine. They just wanted to get drunk. So they became priests. Only on paper.
100-pound death, and on today's episode, we're going to be fighting the skinniest Reddit mod. This is not what I meant when I said I wanted jiggle physics. I think this boss may have had a few too many, communion wafers. How many of those do you have to eat before it's considered one entire Jesus? This is your body, broken for me. Now, unlike the other foreskin brother, the absolute girth of this man might make you think we're in for a slower fight, but you are wrong. That would make the game easier. He is even faster than that, and that just makes me go from depressed to impressed. And just like last time, his second phase is absolute body horror. Genuinely just the scariest shit I've ever seen in my life. Please consult your doctor before engaging in any Nikocado maxing.
Is he actually fat? I always took it that it was his suit. He just had more stuff on him. But is he actually fat? It's kind of like the Ornstein, or no, not Ornstein, the Smo and Ornstein and Smo. Like, he's actually ripped underneath the armor. The armor is just fat. For whatever reason. I don't know the benefits of that, but they did it. So I always took it that this was a similar thing. Because, you know, the Foreskin brothers are kind of similar to Ornstein and Smo in the way they were presented, especially in the duo fight. But I could be wrong. Maybe there's lore for it.
I think I'm gonna be here for a few more minutes. Finally, the bloated design. Body positivity. No, I have body negativity. Also, holy shit, this music goes hard. This is an absolutely inappropriate boss theme for the inside of a Walmart. I think it's about time that we shave off some of that excess skin. Come on, do it. Give me your skin. If you aren't comfortable in your own flesh, you should pull it off. So now that I've officially shot Biggie Biggs, we can finally grab the, and continue on our route towards the average Californian summer. Me being sent to hell, they forgot to take my Bluetooth speaker away. That's right, we're finally here, the heart of the beast, home of deceitful serpents and their evil minions. You know, Washington. Also, more ladders. But honestly, it's a bit, easy to get lost in here. Personally, though, I don't think there's much here that we haven't already talked about, besides the Egged One, just your standard committee of child skinners. So we're just gonna teleport straight to the boss, which is the actual way you do it because of the reasons why. All right, Satan, I've served you for too long. Now prepare to feel my... Oh, wait a second. Welcome everyone to Doom Internalizing My Abuse, and today we're going to be fighting the, we're going to Google how to kill him, because as it turns out, the reptile exhibit is in need of some heavy ordnance.
How many people do you think legitimately were confused by the boss fight and didn't see the item right next to you that's glowing for you to pick up as you enter the boss fight? I can't even remember. Does it auto-equip? It may not. So if it doesn't auto-equip, I kind of understand that, because people pick up stuff all throughout the game and they're not going to read the description of everything, especially as you enter the boss fight. But since I played Demon Souls and Dark Souls 3, I immediately recognized what was going on.
of which I am an expert. The Serpent Hunter is, and I quote, on some anime shit, a weapon of mass destruction specifically built to kill just snakes, you know, like a secretary bird. It's also, 3 feet from the entrance. That's like giving chocolate out in a dog pound. God may give me his toughest battles, but so too do we get his largest gun. We just went from Storm Ruler to Storm Meter Stick. This fight is the coolest shit I've ever seen. It is so satisfying to use this weapon, and the damage is absolutely biblical. My favorite part was when Cain beat his brother to death with a rock. The only drawback is that you are too strong, and dodging him is a little easy because the snake will signal every attack by pogging. But if I had to choose a boss to be easy, this one is pretty fucking up there. And trust me, I know about fucking up. Just ask the war crime trials. I have something to admit, guys. I didn't really kill anyone in the war. I only kill people like you, tomorrow. But as for this boss, his difficulty does not get in the way of the fun, of which there is plenty. I think the best attack is the one where he slimes me at the Kids' Choice Awards. Plus, I am always down for animal abuse, especially after the animal abuses me. So with that out of the way, I think it's about time that we graduate this noodle from endangered to extinct. Oh Jesus, aren't you dramatic?
Who's gonna voice him? Who's the voice?
God of Mount Gelmir.
Oh my God.
15. Praetor Rykard. It appears that you are trying to cut off my pet snake, so in return, I will now cut off yours. The last thing you want on your journey to hell is to join the Serpent King as family, but as it turns out, that might be what you get.
Oh my fucking God. It's finally him. It's Satan. I'm your biggest fan. Welcome everyone to the second phase of life, also known as death, and today we're going to be fighting the human centipede along with everyone he's ever consumed. That's right, this entire time we were participating in the world's most complicated buffet. Not to mention I'm carrying the souls of 4 entire demigods, so I just delivered Rykard his fucking pizza. But if you want to get eating, first you have to get eaten. Buy an immortal snake and live on him like a tumor. That's called making a deal. Now as for the gameplay, it's a little intense. You know, kind of spooky, kind of makes me cry. Because this boss, on top of his normal moveset, can use every snake attack, just like Metal Gear Solid. But that isn't even the dangerous part. That happens when he unleashes the 50 goddamn explosive skulls at the loudest possible volume and then dips my screen into a vat of hot oil. I guess hell was just built on a missile system. I could not tell you what's happening on the screen right now. The best way I can describe this fight is that it gives brain damage, just like playing Valorant, but in a good way, unlike—
I like the way he's describing all of this, honestly, because I just, like, whooped through the fight pretty quickly. I did not appreciate all the little details like he's doing. I mean, it's all in the comical sense, and I love it. But he's making a good description of the boss fight. I appreciate it.
Playing Valorant. Even still, this battle is not about that. It is all about the spectacle, the weaponry, and of course the violence. It is a gimmick fight done absolutely correct, even if it hurts my eyes a bit. But if this fight gets one thing right, it is definitely style. And while this battle may be long, you know, like a cat, goddamn does it deliver. Man, you two are a match made in hell. Hey, so, I might have killed Satan.
You fucking what?
Yeah, so, where did she go? Gone. Oh. She's eating what?
Oh, wait a minute, that's right, he's gonna come back. Right, he's like reforming himself and whatnot, he doesn't die. Wonder if he's gonna come back in the DLC. Well, that'd be interesting. I completely forgot about that plot point. He just can't truly die. Interesting. Well, this was a fucking blast. I loved it. So I hope you all enjoyed it. There is a link to my Twitch down in the description as well as Discord. And please leave any recommendations down in the comments below. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye.